kinda beautiful. Keep your head up, it don't matter. Don't be discouraged, it don't matter. Let the world know that it don't matter. Be your own kind of beautiful. Cause he is so beautiful, plus size is so wonderful. Being thick has benefits, I'm not your ordinary cheek. I've got a lot of love to share with low, short, and nappy hair. Taking time to let you know I'm my own kind of beautiful. So think it's a sexy girl. Don't just be ashamed. You're so beautiful.
Hey everybody, this is your girl Jamila J. Welcome to Jamila J Girl Talk on Mind, Body, Soul, and Business. Feel good, mind, body, soul, and business, right, Chuck?
That's cool. Yeah, you getting it. You get it every week. Don't worry about it. We'll work on it.
Thank you, thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. We have a special guest.
Mhm.
But before we go into talk to our guests, we would like to check in with everybody. It rained all day yesterday, and I love the rain. I absolutely love the rain.
Okay. Well,
How's the weather out there on the
for
East
those
Coast,
that
you
don't
guys?
know, Jamila's in LA, so again, they rarely see rain where she's at. So it was cool. It was cool yesterday. It wasn't too bad. The day is around 30 degrees, something like that, 32. I don't know the exact degrees, but it's a little chilly out. But it's not too bad, you know what I mean? But again, we're used to that type of weather here on the East Coast. So we're in Delaware actually. So again, I don't know. I hate the winter, but I love the spring and summer. That's my thing. So
Wow. Hey, I don't know how your weekend was, but I watched last night on Lifetime. I watched Salt and Pepper. Did anybody else watch
Salt
that?
and pepper. Oh my
No.
god.
Oh my
Talk about blast from the
God!
past.
Was
Did
that
you
pretty?
watch it, Emma?
No, I didn't even know they were. If they
Oh,
had been on, I would have. Salt and pepper. Oh my god, talk about blast from the
it
past.
was really
I
good.
don't know. I probably have like an
And
actual tape. Remember those things? Tapes. I have a tape of salt and pepper somewhere.
well, the most interesting part was, their life and how they, became really one of the, I guess, the first female rap stars, right, Chuck?
Yeah,
So
first female rap groups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But one of the members, I think it was Cheryl, which was, I think, Salt. She had an eating disorder. She was a curvy girl, and she struggled with her curves, But I thought it was really, really good. Just wondering if anybody else checked that out. But I'm sure it'll be replaying today or in tomorrow. So check it out if you have not watched it, and it's on demand probably. So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I enjoyed that. So Chuck, this is Emma Medeiros, and she has a PR firm
Okay.
geared to plus size talent.
Oh.
And I met her when I was in New York, and it was real cold, and not trying to go back anytime soon. But I was supposed to interview you maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and so I always try to keep my word, try to keep my promise. So
better
let's
late than never.
welcome Emma Medeiros
Hello.
to our
Hello.
show.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much
welcome.
for having me.
Thank you. Now, the first question I always ask, where were you born and where do you live now?
So I was born in an itty bitty little state called Rhode Island. Some people, when I say I'm from Rhode Island, they say, "Oh, New York." Like, no, not Long Island. Rhode Island, believe it or not, is a state. Tiny little state up north. And I live now in Jersey City, which is not even 5 miles from New York City. I can literally see the New York skyline from my apartment. It's pretty cool.
Okay. So you were living in, I think, Boston when I met you, right?
It was, yeah. So I lived in Rhode Island all my life until I was, let me think, 2009, I think it was. I moved to Boston with my then boyfriend, now husband, Adam, and we were there for about 10 years. And all that time, actually, even before that time, I knew I wanted to live in New York, or at least very, very close, like I am now. Because as much as I love Boston, and I do, for the record, when it comes to the fashion industry opportunities, it's not there, especially for plus sizes. So I knew that the business would grow exponentially, once I got to New York. And I finally did about a year and a half ago. Yay!
Wow, congratulations. That's
Yeah.
a big move.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we found an amazing place. I mean, everyone talks about how expensive New York is, and it's true. It was really like on a whim that I decided to check out Jersey. I always had that stereotypical Jersey, thing in my head. I was like, I'm never living in Jersey. You're insane. But then I started looking at the prices, and I was like, I can get a 2-bedroom with a dining room and a nice apartment, a nice neighborhood in Jersey, or I can get a closet for the same price in New York.
Wow.
Exactly. Hey,
So,
hey, listen, we got some. I want to get. They're coming so fast. I got to get some of these comments out of here, right?
Oh, sure.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, they're coming so fast. So let me start with these comments and get them rolling. We got Kendra Moore. What's going on, Kendra? She says, "Hi, fam. I want to see that." She's talking about the movie we were just talking about, Salt and Pepper.
Oh, yeah.
Check that out. Sky Dome says, "Hello, team. Girl talk and feel good talk." What's up, Sky? Thanks for tuning in. Like always, we appreciate you. It was very good on Lifetime, so I guess she's seen that too. I didn't see that. And she also says, "Hello, Emma." She's giving you a shout out. And Kendra's shouting out Sky. She says, "Hi, Sky." So Sky, get back at her. She says, "Oh, well, she did." Hi, Kendra Moore. And then we got Boston is in the house.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
For the record, I loved Boston.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks I'm a traitor. I moved to New York City to Boston. No, I loved Boston. What part of Boston? I was in East Boston, right near Logan Airport.
All right, cool. And Sky says, "Congrats on the story that you told as far as, what was going on." She said, "Hello, beautifuls. What's up, Izzy? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it." And she says, "Hi, Izzy, meditate." So we got the whole fam out there. They support and feel good talk. We definitely appreciate it. And, they are loving you right now, Emma. So, do your thing.
So I know you do PR, but I want to kind of follow your journey, how you got to be, working in public relations in terms of education. So we'll go there first, and then we'll talk about plus size.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Hey, you know what? I think. I'm sorry. I think. Can you break down the public relations, what they do?
I was actually just about to say that. I'm like, before I go into that, let me clarify exactly what PR is, because not everybody understands it.
Right.
So good call. So public relations, PR for short, in case people watching don't know. Basically, it's all about building relationships. So you are building a relationship with your public, they call it. So you hire somebody like me. So say you are a model, designer, retailer, whatever. You hire someone like me to connect you. So I call myself a pimp, like kind of half jokingly. What do? I mean, they walk, they connect the provider to the customer, walk away, let them do their thing, take a cut of the profit, pretty much what I do. But in a more realistic sense. So I connect people with the media, with other designers, with everyone else in the industry. So for example, say you are a designer and you have a show coming up. You want to get not only more people at the show, but you want to get interviews to the show. You want to get buzz, just in general, people talking about it. And of course, ideally, that leads to more sales. So you would connect with somebody like me, and I would connect you to the people in the media that I've developed relationships with. Because the thing is, keep in mind, you could, in theory, reach out to these people yourself. But because I have relationships with them, they are much more likely to respond to me than someone they don't know yet.
Right. Okay.
So, and there's a difference between PR and advertising. A lot of people mix that up. So just to clarify, PR is about merit instead of money. So basically what I mean by that is when you see an ad, whether it's on a billboard, in a magazine, whatever. You understand that it is a paid ad. So the implication can be that no matter how good or bad your product or service is, if you have the money, you can buy that ad. So the idea with PR is that, yes, of course, you pay me for my services and my time, but I'm reaching out to people who are paid to write a story, not about you, a story, right? So if they write about you anyway, it means a lot more in the public mind. It's called third-party credibility. So as an example, say you see an ad on TV, right? A commercial for a restaurant, a new restaurant in your area. You're like, oh, okay, there's a new restaurant in my area. That is a paid ad. But when your friend who's not paid by the restaurant says, oh my God, they got the best food and the best service, you're going there tomorrow night, because somebody who's not paid by the restaurant is endorsing it anyway. So if for a publicist, that's my title, public relations specialist, there's a bunch of different titles, but basically for a PR professional, the idea is to build your credibility. So I am building your brand's credibility, your long-term success, your reputation. That is so much more important than just getting that like immediate sales, from say an ad campaign. I mean, advertising has its place. I'm not saying it doesn't, obviously.
Right.
But it is important to understand that it is a paid ad. So PR is all about building your reputation, your long-term success. So the little background on PR versus advertising. So as far as me, I went to Emerson College in Boston, and I got my degree in integrated marketing communication. So just kind of a mouthful for a marketing degree. So underneath a marketing degree, you can do several different things. You can do advertising, you can do PR, you can do event planning. There's many things that you can do. So once I understood really the power of PR and that third-party credibility, that reputation, how powerful that can be, I decided to specialize in that. And when I decided that, I was like, okay, do I want to work for myself? Do I want to work for someone else? What do I want to be when I grow up, sort of thing? And so I said, okay, well, first let me work for someone else, I'll make my mistakes on their watch, then, a few years down the road, I'll have my own business. So I started looking around, and I did a lot of research. I mean, I'm talking like 2-3 months worth of research. And I just assumed that I would have my pick of PR firms to work for that specialized in the plus size industry. Because at the time, this was in 2012, I graduated, the industry was exploding. I mean, it's exploding even more now, but especially then too. I just assumed I would have somebody was already doing it. I mean, why wouldn't you have a PR firm that specializes in the plus size industry, this massively huge growing industry? And I was looking around everywhere, and I could not find one. So I'm like, okay, one of two things. Either they really suck at their job because nobody can find them, or two, they don't exist at all. Wow. And I was like, okay, well, somebody eventually is going to do it, so might as well be me. So the benefit of that for our clients is that they know that every single connection, I have a lot of connections. Every single connection that I have is benefiting them. I'm not wasting a single moment of my time, a dime of their money, reaching out to people who are not interested in you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So why plus size? How did you decide to focus in on the plus size market?
Well, number one, I am plus size, and I've always struggled with finding, really cool clothes, especially affordable ones, that have my curves. I'll never forget, it's still traumatizing, going to Sears, maybe 10 years ago, I asked where the plus size department was. So the lady was like, okay, come with me. And she brought me to this section, and I had to bite my tongue off to keep from saying, I'm sorry, I said plus size, not grandma department. I mean, literally, my 95-year-old grandmother would not be caught dead in these clothes. Like, how old do I look? It was horrifying. I can't even, still traumatized by it.
Emma, how tall are you? What size do you wear?
I'm 5'10", so I'm a big girl. I'm half German. Depending on the brand, because of course we know how much sizing varies. In general, I usually fall into the 20-24 area, but I have clothes in my closet from 14 to 24, and everything fits.
Okay.
So depending on that, but I realize not only for myself, but how many other people. I mean, 70% of the country, both men and women, for the record, fall into the plus size category. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me that they're being ignored. At the time, I was working at Sephora, the makeup store, and I remember thinking one day, what if we told 70% of our clients not to come through that door? I'm like, it doesn't make sense. I mean, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. So I decided to, start my own business because nobody else was doing it, and it was this huge opportunity. And about a year and a half into it, I was able to quit Sephora, which I loved, for the record. But I was able to quit Sephora and be 100% full time, 100% self-employed. That's what I meant to say. So I just basically saw an opportunity and took it, and I'm glad I did. Oh, just for the record as well, we do also represent brands that cater to all sizes. So, for example, one of our clients is Girls Chronically Rock, and they have extra small to 5X. So as long as you include, the plus sizes, we're absolutely willing to talk with you. Because, I do want to clarify that we don't want to ignore the smaller girls, of course. We just want to get full treatment to them.
Awesome, yeah. And that's awesome, to have that, public relation as far as that's concerned, because you're right. Like, I don't know, like nowadays they're making the clothes too small. You understand what I'm saying? Like they can say XL, but they're like tight fit or a close fit. So it's not really a true XL. It might be a big, let's say a big large. You know what I'm saying?
So variable. Yeah. I honestly am envious of you men. 38 inches is 38 inches is 38 inches. Like, why can't we just do that? It is very hard, especially when you get into different countries. Oh, don't even get me started. I mean, there's European size 14 and China size 14, and it's like, So, I mean, you really have to try stuff on, which brings us to another challenge for plus sizes, because so many brands have just, even if you have a brick and mortar store, have just plus sizes online. And brands don't realize how much more often plus size women have to return clothes that they buy online versus straight size women. It's something like 70% more often or something crazy like that. I've done the research, and on average, plus size women have to return things so much more often when you buy them online, unless you know exactly what you need. So I really, to any brands out there who are saying, "Oh, I don't know if it's worth it to have plus sizes in my store," it's worth it. Believe me.
Hey, I agree, because like I said, nowadays the cuts are so small now. Even though you might say 38, but it seems like the pants are tight to your legs now. It's like,
oh yeah, I know men aren't perfect,
so I like,
but at least you have less variation than we do.
Yeah, I'm talking on a man's. I'm like on a man's perspective now. I know you. So I like my clothes a little bit loose on me, like nowadays they're into these like biker, it look like almost like biker pants that they're wearing, jeans, it's like, nah, so it's hard now. We need a public relations, somebody out there, us with these tight behind jeans, like skinny jeans. Now, like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like me, I like to have room so I can walk around and, maneuver a little bit. And now they just like everything you get now, it's so tight. You know what I'm saying? And that's just,
well, depending on the butt, that can be a good thing.
Nah.
I mean, my husband, I've been trying to get him to wear the skinny jeans because he's got the best butt ever. I mean, those are made for, he refuses to wear it, but I'm like,
right. No, I can't get into that. You know what I'm saying? As far as the skinny jeans, I'm just not into it. I like the old, if I'm going to wear something, it got to be boot cut. It can't be,
I do like boot cut,
real tight, and straight legs already. I can't get into it. You know what I mean? So again, we need somebody there to be some public relations for us to get out of these skinny. Somebody get these skinny jeans out of here. I'm tired of it. You know what I mean? Even sweatpants.
Some people do like the skinny jeans. So it's all a matter of knowing your audience.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess that's now. I guess that's the end thing now. But like I said, I just can't.
Yeah, it is.
Do it. You know what I mean? So
there's no. I mean, that actually brings me to an important topic that I think especially plus size women need to know, and men, for the record. Not every trend is going to work for everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm not saying you can't, quote unquote, wear that. People get mad when you put rules down and rule. You can wear whatever you want. Of course, you can wear whatever you want. But realistically, not every person is going to look good in every trend. So I really, when people say like, oh, what should I wear for this body type? Wear whatever you want, but here's what's going to look best.
Right.
Yeah,
That is,
I think that goes across the board with men
oh
and
yeah,
women.
Mhm.
And it's also what you feel good in,
your personal
It's
comfort
like
level,
what makes you
your
feel
personal
like
level.
that's
Exactly.
sexy or, so
I
that's
like,
important.
yeah, I mean, some people, would say like, oh, wear something super low cut, but some women prefer like covered, but have it like a little hugged. So it's really
Right.
about your comfort level. At the end of the day, you have to wear it, nobody else.
Exactly.
So wear what makes you feel good within
Mhm.
reason. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but when I've seen a person in daisy Duke shorts, a dog collar, and a full head of gray hair on the subway, I'm sorry, that's just
That's a whole different look.
I
Hey,
know.
me personally, I think sexy comes from within. So a woman can have on a pair of, just a sweatshirt and a pair, and she still looks sexy. And so that
Oh
comes
yeah,
from within. So a lot of people get that confused with the low cut to show their breasts. You really
yeah.
don't have to do all that to be sexy. And
Right.
that's not sexy to me. Like I said, it's attitude that comes from within. So
Oh
you
yeah,
can add that on and just look slutty. You know what I mean? That's just
yeah.
me personally. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Difference between sexy and slutty, people.
right,
Let's be
it is.
clear.
So
Class,
Big difference.
classy or trashy.
Classy.
like
Oh
class,
my goodness.
trash.
The most beautiful
There's a
woman, I'll
difference.
never forget, the most beautiful woman I ever saw was on the Boston subway. She must have been at least 70, if not older. But
Mhm.
she was so, class just emanated from this woman.
Right,
She
right,
wasn't
right.
trying to follow a trend. She wasn't trying to do this. It just was perfect for her.
Mhm.
Whatever she was wearing, just class. I mean, you could tell she kind of held herself properly and everything. It was just really amazing. Like I wish I, could take a picture without being arrested for a stalker. But she was absolutely amazing. So just really embrace your, your size, your age. Don't try
Mhm.
to be what you're not. I think is
Right.
kind of a
Mhm.
good rule of thumb.
Exactly. Hey, we got some comments out there. We got a lot of comments actually. We got Sky Dome. She says, "I'm from Roxy. It's freezing today." She went back to the question where you were from. So she's from
Oh
Roxy.
yeah.
Freezing. Hey, y'all can have that out in Boston. It's too cold for me. And
Yeah, well, New York is pretty cool too, but
Yeah.
what? I have family in Wisconsin.
Mhm.
I really don't get a lot of sympathy from them in the
I-
cold. I remember one time I was talking to my aunt in Wisconsin. She goes, "Oh, it wasn't too bad today. It warmed up to 0 degrees.
shoot,
Oh my God.
it gets cold out there.
Warmed up to 0 degrees." I didn't even ask from what. I didn't want to know.
They can have
Like,
that.
if you consider that warm, so really can't complain about 30 degrees.
And Izzy says, "Hey, Sunshine." She's talking to Sky Darling because she said something to her earlier. And then we have Sky Darling. She says, "Emma, have you thought about building relationships with companies that deal with that's what we're talking about, with only plus sizes?"
Well, the majority, yes. I already have many, 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 many relationships with companies that deal only with plus sizes. But the trend in the last maybe 3 years, has been size inclusive. So having smaller and larger. But some brands choose to do one or the other. That's fine. So, some people say like, oh, I really know how to design for curves. I want to stay in that niche. That's fine too. Yeah.
Okay. And she also says this too. She says, "What companies only deal with plus size model?"
Oh,
plus size
girl, other than Ashley Stewart, many, 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 many. I have a list of, I actually keep all of my contacts in Google Docs, right? I have like a Google Doc for journalists, a Google Docs from designers and retailers and everything. My Google Doc for designers is currently about 300 pages long.
Wow.
So yeah, there are a few. If you're
Yeah.
talking about mainstream, something that kind of everybody would know, besides Ashley Stewart is of course Lane Bryant, Eloquity, the mainstream ones, but there are so many. So many. One of my clients is Sean Denise, who just came out with a new collection. I'm sorry, Paint by Sean Denise, who just came out with a new collection. She's Atlanta-based designer. She has some amazing, the colors this woman uses are just drop dead gorgeous. It's really for people who want to make a statement.
Right.
And not over the top garish. This can be in everyday clothes as well, but it's like here, I am there. And she has a really amazing new collection that just came out. So again, it's Paint by Sean Denise. Let's see who else. Another one of my clients is NVUS
Mhm.
Boutique. She is really cool. So she doesn't design it. She takes things from other designers. She's a boutique,
Mhm.
but she only carries a very limited amount of each style. So she's really all about being unique. Like
Okay.
that if you buy something from her, you're not going to walk down the street and see 5 people wearing it.
Right,
So we
right.
have quite a few. If you want, I can put in, hold on, I'm going to put the list of our clients so you can get started there at least.
Hmm.
If that's
Do
okay
you
with you guys.
see? Do you see the industry has changed? Because when you said you have over 300, I don't know, I think you said pages.
Pages.
Has
Yeah,
the
not
industry
300
changed in
designers,
the last maybe
300 pages.
5 years?
I mean, the industry is constantly changing. I think a big thing that has made it change happened about 5, 6 years ago when we finally made the transition into mainstream media, right? Because now we're on the cover of Vogue, Glamour, Elle, like all of these huge mainstream magazines and media outlets. Never, ever would have happened even 10 years ago. Tess Holliday, for example, she was on the cover of Cosmo, I think it was 2014, if I'm not mistaken. And from then on, there's gotten a lot of people on the covers of mainstream magazines. So before that, we were mainly kind of confined to industry magazines like Plus Model Magazine, Queen Size Magazine, Fabulous, our industry ones, but they were mainly for plus size. So once we made that leap into mainstream media, people realized, damn, they're a
It's
force to be
money.
reckoned.
Yeah, it's
And
money
you
to
know
be
what?
made.
I'm glad that you brought that up because exactly what I was going to say next. At the end of the day, it's about money. Do you know how much
Yeah,
the plus size
money.
industry is worth? Just take a
Billions.
guess. $20
Billions.
billion
Wow.
last year alone.
Wow.
Billion with B.
Mm.
But
Yeah, it's
people
a
still
billion
say,
dollar
man,
industry.
and one thing that designers and retailers and everything need to know is that plus size people, especially women, are usually willing to spend more on your average garment
Mhm.
because fit is number one. I don't care how gorgeous something is. If it doesn't fit me the way I want it to, it will not work. And
Hmm.
finding a fit for plus sizes is very difficult because it fits us differently. It hugs the curves differently than a straight size woman. So once we find a brand or an outlet or something like that that we really love, we're going to go back over and over and over again. So we are very, very loyal to brands that we find
Yeah.
work for us.
Hey,
I
we.
know I wear a size 11, and once I find a shoe that fits, and especially because if I go back, it's not going to be there. I'll buy as many
Right.
shoes that I
As you
can,
can afford. Yeah,
afford at that
totally.
time. I'll buy like
Yeah, I'm a size
5 pair of
12 when I
shoes
started.
because when you go back, it's not going to be there. So you can say the same thing with, especially if you're the bigger sizes, the 24s and you're gonna if you find something that fits, you're
I will be
gonna
your most
find
loyal
every
customer.
color, every size, and
Yeah.
so you can have a wardrobe to wear to work. But yeah,
Yes.
I really get that.
Oh yeah.
Chuck,
So I
you
Cool.
had
mean,
something?
to brands that are kind of that are straight size that are kind of considering going to plus size, this isn't worth it. Believe me, it's worth it if you do it right. Invest in good quality. It's important to know how to make the upper sizes. I don't know for people who know nothing about designer. For You can't size up from a size 2 to a size like 24. It just doesn't work. You have to have a
Mhm.
fit model that's usually a
Yeah,
size
I was
about
going to say that we
16.
have fit models
It's really important to get that
just for that.
proper. So don't think that you can take a size 2 and just make it bigger and into like a size 24. That's not how it works. So do your
Right.
research and really make sure to get the proper fit. It will be worth the money, I promise you.
Cool. Well, I'm learning a lot, but we got some more comments out here.
Sure.
And I think you might have answered. I'm not sure if you answered this all the way, but she says, Scott Darling says, why is it not a lot of commercials for promoting plus size and sexy and classic? So
I'm a little bit confused about the phrase commercials. You meaning like TV commercials?
TV commercials she's talking about, maybe.
Oh, okay. They're getting there. They are getting there. We've made a lot of progress. I think it's important to, again, know your audience, knowing who's watching these commercials.
Mhm.
So whatever you are promoting, whatever product that you're selling, whatever service that you're selling, you have to think about who is watching them. They
Right.
want to see themselves. The days are gone
Right.
when fashion was about the impossible dream.
Right.
It used to be about that. You used to go to a fashion show and see these size zero models, but that's what you wanted to see even if you were 24, because that
Right.
was the impossible dream. That was what you wanted to aspire to. But now that shifted in the last maybe 10 years. We want to see us.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see ourselves, especially if we're going to be spending whatever on this dress or whatever. I want to see what it's going to look like on someone like me. So that
But
has changed.
Emma, I want to talk about commercials for a minute. It's like commercials can't handle us, you know? Because really, it's just too much. You know, it's too much boobies, it's too much hips,
That
and
is a
it's
good
too
point.
much
Yeah,
but
I think we've been
in a lot of
oversaturated.
commercials, you remember that Lane Bryant commercial? There was a
Which one?
lot, I think it was for bras. And it's like, oh no, we can't air that on TV. Because sometimes commercials can't handle us. When people see plus size women, they're just pure sexy to a lot of, you know, to a lot of people. Even if you have these Victoria's Secret models walking around with the feathers and the bra and the panties, but you see a plus size woman like that, and you got the boobies shaking and the butt shaking, they cannot handle
Not
plus size.
appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's true, and
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons why is because porn used to have, well, still does sometimes have this section called BBW, Big Beautiful
Mm-hmm.
Women,
Yeah.
and I
Right.
think unfortunately when plus size fashion became more popular and everything, it still was stuck in people's mind as like this overly
Right.
sexual. I
Yeah.
think that has a lot to do with it. It's just a matter of overcoming that. I think because, I mean, hello, we are sexy. Sorry, not sorry, we are sexy.
Yeah.
But excuse me. I think because it's more obvious. I mean, I don't remember what size I am. I'm like an
Is
inch
it
or
more
something.
acceptable
It's getting there.
to
I think
be
it's getting
just,
there. I think it's really getting
yeah.
there. I mean, any kind of long-term permanent change is going to take time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important to not allow ourselves to be just pigeonholed into that sexy. Yes, we are sexy, obviously. No one can argue that.
Yeah.
But we're
But
also classy. We're also,
it's not even pigeonholing us into a certain stereotype. It's the way that society views us.
Mhm.
I mean, how do you, I could wear
Overcome that.
just like Chuck said, a pair of leggings and a sweatshirt, and people will follow me around the store like, oh, but if a girl with a size 0 or size 2, she have the same thing on. It is what it is. It's not that I want that attention, or I want people to look at me. I just want to be comfortable.
Mm.
But I'm just saying, when you put it on a commercial, and I'm thinking of the Lane Bryant commercials and some of the other commercials, and they just cannot handle plus size. But even like on my Facebook page, I post Jamila J plus size casting. I have a lot of women in bras and panties, and among other things, right?
Yeah.
And they said my page was too sexual, but you have a regular
Same
page
size
with the
person doing the
same
same
thing,
thing. Yep.
and they're not blocking it. So I'm just saying, it's not really us, it's society, the way they
It's
see
not us.
us.
It's really not us.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, I could wear, a complete like a turtleneck, and it could be considered sexy because it's hugging my
Right.
size H boobs.
Right.
But
Yeah.
somebody who is a size 2 is not going to get that. And you know what? I don't think there's anything that we can do with that
No.
except maybe. I mean, now I don't even want to say not be sexy because I mean, there's nothing wrong with being sexy. But
Yeah.
depending
It's
on
a
what
different perspective.
depending on
It's
what message you want to get across. So getting back to Sky's about like the commercials, depending on what message you want to get across, you do have to be careful about what you're selling. If you're selling bras and panties, obviously you're going to have somebody, in kind of like an sexy angle or sexy pose, whatever. But if you're just selling real estate, whatever, you're going to be wearing different clothes, have different
You
angles, different
still gonna
camera
be
angles.
sexy.
You're
If
still
you
going
have
to be
that business
sexy,
suit and
but you know
that
what?
little skirt, it's like,
There's only
it's,
so much we can do
yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
Well,
I mean,
can I
because
chime in?
again, we are sexy.
I'm
But
sorry.
Go ahead, Chuck.
I hope
I
I answered that question. It's kind of a hard question to answer. Yeah, but don't be. I guess one of the things is that don't be offended when someone says you're sexy. I mean, that's a good thing. But obviously, we're not just sexy. We have brains, we have feelings, we have all of that. So it's important to be clear on that as well.
Yeah, I think, like I said before, sexy comes from within. You know what I mean? Like, you get like people. When people say I put something sexy, to me, no, it's not. It's tight. Like, it's a difference. Like, it's just hugging your curves. Like, you make it sexy. That's within your own. Like, you can have two people wear the same thing, and it doesn't matter. That one person and one person will stand out more than the other just because of what's inside and what comes out on the outside versus the other person, who may be, maybe let's say full or maybe small, whatever you like. But to me, that person with that sexiness that comes from within, they're going to turn that outfit and make it look really, really good. That's just me personally, because I've seen some big, plus size models that look great. I mean, plus size women that are really sexy in certain outfits. Don't get me wrong. Like, I've seen some really fine, full-figure women. You know what I mean? And then I've seen some women that are small and they're not, it's not that
Exactly.
they have on the same similar outfit. They just don't do it like that other woman do it. So I think it's not just because you're plus size. I think
It's the confidence
inside and your confidence that you bring out. And a lot of people don't have that confidence. So that's why they'll look slutty or they'll look, whatever, because they just don't have it, as far as inside or internally to process on the outside. So look, we got a whole bunch of questions here. They rocking. So it says, what influencer marketing taking off due to, wait a minute. With influencer marketing taking off due to social media platforms, how has your influencer marketing impacted PR?
Okay, so that's a great question. So influencer, first of all, there's no industry definition of influencer. I can say I'm an influencer, and all of a sudden I'm an influencer. But generally, an influencer, for those who don't know, is either a blogger or model or a journalist or somebody who has a strong social media following and a loyal social media following. And I don't mean just numbers. I really want to emphasize it's not about the numbers. You can buy followers. I could have 1 million followers tomorrow. It means nothing. So don't be obsessed with the numbers. So as far as how it's impacted PR, me as a publicist in the last 5 years, maybe, not only, of course, am I still reaching out to my journalists at magazines and everything, but now because influencers have such a strong following, I'm going to pitch products to them as well. So yes, absolutely. Influencer marketing has impacted PR. So it's kind of changed, I guess, the outlets, kind of shifted my outlets of how I get news out. And I also noticed in the last maybe 2 years, something called micro influencers. So what that is, it's an influencer that has usually between about 2,000 and 10,000 followers. So not massive amounts. I mean, some influencers have 1 million followers. But what makes those micro influencers appealing, that's what I'm trying to get out, appealing to PR and brands and everything like that is because they can be more engaged. They can talk more with their followers, because if I have 1 million followers, I get 500,000 questions a day. I do not have time. I don't care how many people are on your team. I do not have time to engage, to ask questions, to get into conversations. And that is where the true value lies. So don't think you can't.
That's a good question.
Because you don't have 1 million followers. Like, if you know that you have a speciality, like in a niche or anything like that, say you're a food blogger, right? Say you're a food blogger and you're really good at pizza, that sort of thing. Just pick something off the top of my head. So you know that your followers are really, really passionate about pizza. Well, you know that the brands who are going to reach out to you are going to be specifically pizza brands, right? So it's all about who is following you, not how many. And it's really important if you are an influencer to know everything you can. I mean, find out everything you can by surveys, by interviews, by anything like that, everything you can about your followers. So that way, if you want to work with brands, you can say, my followers are your potential customers.
Right.
That's really, really, really crucial. Models, for example, that's a huge way of getting modeling jobs nowadays. It used to be only through agencies, right? Which agencies still exist, of course, but more and more models are going at their own and just building off their social media platforms. So say Ashley Stewart, for example, wanted to hire a model, they're going to check out their social media platform to see not only how many followers they have, but who is following them. Are they Ashley Stewart's customer base? Are they potential customers? That is so much more valuable than just the number of followers.
Yeah,
I have a question. I have a question. What's the difference between influencers and brand ambassadors? Is that pretty much the same thing?
No.
Or
So influencers, okay, they can overlap. But brand ambassadors are usually paid directly by the brand, or they get a commission from something that they sell. So influencers are usually not tied to one specific brand or two specific brands. They're usually freelance. Brands can send them stuff, of course. And if the influencer is honest, they'll post like a sponsor post or something like that, so they know they're getting some kind of compensation for it. But brand ambassadors are usually more long-term. They usually have like a long-term contract, like either 6 months to a year, with this brand. They're almost like the face of the brand, versus an influencer works with many, many, many different brands.
Okay. Yeah, I got a whole lot of questions here. Let me go through them a little bit and comment.
Good conversation. That was good.
I'm sorry. Karen says, hello, everyone. What's going on, Karen? How you doing, sweetheart? Appreciate you tuning in. And Scott Dolan says, please explain what is a fit model. Thank you. Great question.
Jamila, do you want to take this one since you're? I don't consider myself a modeling expert, so I'm going to let Jamila take this one.
So when I was in the Bay Area, I used to get fit model calls from Levi Strauss, and basically they use you as a fit model for their Levi's. So I wear size 16. They come in, they take my measurements, and then that they know that this is a size 16, and they make their clothes from the body of a fit model. That's just an example. So they pay really good. They pay like $250, a hit, huh?
It's saying, basically, if I understand correctly, it's saying that, okay, in our brand, this is what size 16 is. And this is what, right? Isn't that kind of accurate?
So they need a real person to fit those measurements. So usually it's the bust, the hips, and the waist. And they're looking for real people to fit those sizes. And so you just come in and just like a regular model, on Project Runway, they, have the models come in and take their measurements, then go make the clothes. So fit model is more consistent. It's, I know Levi's and probably other, Ashley Stewart, Toric, they have their measurements on their website. So those are the standard sizes that they sew clothes to. So they need actual people to try them on and test the fit for that.
Okay, well,
it's good money. It's really good money.
I got room for 10 fittings a week, maybe 20 if they need me. So
it's good money, yeah.
We're gonna still get the comments, and here we go. She says, hello, Karen. She saw shouting out Karen Brown. What's going on? And Izzy says, hello, Karen. So everybody's shouting out. Here we go with the questions. True, people can't learn to handle what they don't see enough of, and we don't want them to basically handle, but in fact, be respectful to all. Exactly, Karen.
Yeah.
Exactly. And she says also, amazing, those who keep judging have more insecurities than plus size persons who may be having a fierce moment every day. That is definitely true, because I see a lot of people that people will consider quote unquote models or pretty or beautiful, whatever. They have the most. I've seen that they say the most beautiful. They have a lot of problems. I mean, from what the people, and everybody does, but you would seem like they wouldn't, but they have a lot of problems as well. So again, thanks for that one there. And she says, Kendra says people are intimidated with the norms of beauty.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yes, hit the nail on the head, Kendra. The norms of anything are challenged.
Exactly.
If you're a little different,
right,
you don't fit in that box.
Self-confidence before the outfit is seen, you win also. Okay.
Yeah, before you put on the outfit, the outfit doesn't make you confident. I think that's what she's saying.
Right.
If you're confident and then the outfit just kind of shows.
That's what I said. You make the outfit what it is. Your whole self within you bring the outfit alive. That's what I was trying to say. Like people say, because they put on something tight, that means it's sexy. No, you're not. That don't mean you're sexy. It just means you got on something tight. And Kendra says, and to those people, I say, build a bridge and get over it. Okay, all right, yeah, baby, I hear you.
Like we're here to stay. Plus sizes are not a trend. Exactly. It's not a blip. It's not a whatever. It's like we're here to stay. So just deal with it.
And Izzy says she's giving a shout out. Well, Karen giving a shout out to Izzy because Izzy did say hi to Karen. And Willie, hey, Miss Willie, she says, hey guys, you are right. Plus size be rocking, most definitely. And Sky Darling says it's how a person delivers consciousness. Exactly. And she says hello to Sky. Karen does. And Sky Darling says thank you, Jamila J. Choice. There you go. So I had to get all those out because there was a lot there. But thanks for tuning in. We definitely appreciate y'all. Yeah. And hey, what we forgot to do, Jamila? We forgot to give a shout out to the sponsor, and we also have a commercial to play for you. So we're gonna play both of those. We're gonna play the sponsor and your commercial, and then we'll be right back. So here we go. This is A Game.
This is A Game, an all-natural herbal dietary supplement formulated exclusively for men. Our proprietary blend was designed with one goal in mind: to improve your overall health, rejuvenating your vitality, energy, strength, and libido. Want to be at your peak performance in everything you do? Then bring your A game. Fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
Oh my God.
You said you wanna play your game. You tell me in, I said I'll pick it up, it's all the same. But don't follow all the rules. I know you don't, you change day by day. Hardly seems that fair. How can anybody understand? How can anybody win?
All right, there you
got an eye full of plus size.
Love it.
That was awesome.
A lot of plus size. This is a fascinating conversation. Emma.
One thing I had to add is what we were talking about, like what why plus size sexy, why we thought of it sexy and everything. I'm a geek. I fully admit it proudly. I'm a documentary geek, and I remember I'll never forget seeing a documentary on why we think certain things are sexy. And there was so much evidence that like bigger breasts and bigger hips, everything that we consider sexy is all related to fertility. It's all, so whether we realize it or not, we still look at each other with our caveman and cavewoman eyes, right? Because no joke. There was like, I wish I still had the link to it. But they did this studies and they told people, regular, plus size, everything like that in between. Okay, so walk on the treadmill. Just walk on the treadmill, and they film them from behind. So they're just walking normally on the treadmill, doing what they're going to do. So then they said a few minutes later, okay, so walk on the treadmill, but walk like you're trying to be sexy, whatever that means to you. They didn't plan anything. Walk like you're trying to be sexy. Every single one of the women move their hips more. It was all about the hips from behind. So I am saying to you, when I'm moving my hips, right, I am saying to every man around me, I can bear you a healthy child, and I will likely survive the birth to give you more. It's amazing. I swear to God,
Wow.
this was such an eye opener because whether or not we even want children, we are programmed to look for fertility, right? And bigger hips and bigger breasts. Obviously, I can feed those children. It is all linked to fertility. And as far as the men's side, what they did for men, they said, okay, after they walk normally and everything like that on the treadmill, they have said, okay, walk like you're trying to be sexy. Every single one of the men move their shoulders more. It's about the shoulders. It's about the upper body strength. So men, what you're saying to me with the shoulders, the strong upper body strength, is I can take care of you.
Right.
I can protect you. I'm a good provider.
Mm.
It was really fascinating. I know I'm a geek, and I know I'm now saying that I'm a geek, but it really is fascinating because
It is.
why do we consider these essentially lumps of fat? That's what they are. All they are is lumps of fat. Why are they sexy? That's why. Because it's all linked to fertility. So the next time you look at something and think, wow, they're really sexy, men, women, whatever, think about why. Why is that sexy to you? Why is it attractive? It all goes back to fertility. So someone who's very, very skinny usually has a harder time having babies than someone, with wider hips. So with the wider hips and the big boobs and everything, people are looking at, a man is going to look at whether he realizes it or not and say, I can make babies with her. I can continue my line. Isn't that amazing? Like when you think about it?
That's
So it
interesting.
really comes down to our biological drives. Even though we're modern people and everything in 2021, it still goes back to that. So when you think about what's sexy, think about why.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good information.
I was just really fascinated by that. Yeah.
So hey, listen, we had a contest last week, and it was called Grab That Cash. So we got 3 winners today. 3 people that did well. They're not winners yet, but we have 1 winner. But we have they're all winners because if they don't win at $50, we have consolation prizes as well. So, but we had 3 individuals. They did what we asked them to do last week, and so. We have 3 people in this hat right here that I have. So I'm going to shake up this hat and I'm going to pull out a winner and we're going to announce the winner now. So here we go.
Drum roll.
And as y'all can see, three. Let me get it right. 3 pieces of paper in there. So I have to grab one of them out. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to reach in there and I'm just going to pull something out. There we go. Here's a paper right here. Oh, shoot. And the winner is CC Laughlin.
What is it?
CC Laughlin. So again,
CC Laughlin.
and the other 2, just to let everybody know, was NA Customs and also let me make sure I get the name. NA Customs Design and also Sky Darling. So
Whoa.
Translation prizes for both of these 2, NA Custom Designs and also Sky Darling. We got a consolation prize for you as well, sweetheart.
Awesome.
Thank you for tuning in. CC, I gotta contact you and we'll post you and we'll get that up there as soon as possible as a winner. Now we do have another contest this week, okay? And we're going to start it off. I wrote it down because it's a little bit involved, but this week is going to be a little bit more to it. So again, this is called Grab That Cash. So anybody out there, they can do this. So I don't care who it is. Grab that cash. First of all, you're going to have to like Feel Good Talk on Facebook. So that's number 1. And probably everybody on here probably already did it already. So that's 1 already done. Then you have to share this episode or do a watch party. So if you share this episode, we can see it because it comes into the feed.
So do it now. Do it now so you'll be eligible for
you'll
next
be up
week.
2 already. And then you have to go like Choice TV and comment FGT, which is Feel Good Talk. So FGT. All right.
On Choice TV.
Choice TV. On Choice TV. And then from that point, you have to go to Feel Good Talk website, which is www.feelgoodtalk.net, and you have to leave a message. And you could just say Feel Good Talk, hey, I did it, whatever. What's up, Chuck? What's up, Jim? Whatever you want to put, so I know that you completed everything. So I'm gonna read them again. You have to like Feel Good Talk on Facebook, on Facebook, which I'm pretty sure everybody done did already. You have to share this episode or do a watch party. You could do that right now as we speak. Go like Choice TV and comment FGT. And then the last but not least, go to Feel Good Talk website at feelgoodtalk.net and put in leave a message. So you could just say, hey, I completed FGT, whatever, any type of message. Let us know you completed the 4 tasks that we asked you to do. And that's it. And then you'll win the $50. Now, again, we'll pick out the people that did everything. We'll put them in a hat like we always do every week. But next week, you have to be present. So if you're not present, we go on to the next person. If we can't find that person, we go on to the next person. We can't find that person, so on and so forth. So if we don't get anybody that week, it doubles the pot for the next week, which would be $100 if we don't get nobody for that week. So we'll double the pot. So again, that'll be $100. You can win the following week if you don't get that 50 this week. So we're going to have some stricter rules. The first 2 was give me's because, we want everybody to get used to the process. But now you have to earn it a little bit more. And like I said, if you don't, like I said, the pot will just keep building. So again, thanks to all the participants, and thanks to Sky Darling NA Custom Designs. We'll definitely have a consolation prize for you. Either me or Jamila send you something. Last week, consolation prize, we got those out. Shout out to, once again, Sky Darling. We got that coming to you. And Shamir Mobley, we gave her consolation prizes as well. And Coco Bank, she won the $50. So again, check it out. Grab that cash. All right. So
thank you, Chuck. Congratulations, everybody.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations. And Emma, we do that every Sunday.
Awesome.
And we just feel that we appreciate our viewers and we want to give something back. Oh, yeah. And I know a lot of people are having hard times right now. So, $50 can make, can buy some food or, pay a bill. So that's why we do that. And it feels good too to do it.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted to go ahead, Chuck.
No, I'm done. I said definitely, and again, it's getting stricter. So if something happens where the person doesn't respond or is on this feed, then they'll have to wait. We'll put it back in the pot so it could potentially build up to a nice significant piece of change. So
yeah,
definitely
check it out. What do they call it? Next Powerball.
Yeah. It ain't like that. It ain't chunky like that, but yeah.
But I wanted to let our viewers get a perspective of exactly what you do. So from like me, take a client like me, maybe just say a model, because a lot of models are out there, a lot of models follow me. What would you do to enhance my career?
So depending on what your goals are, of course, because
my goal is to be rich and famous, and walk New York Fashion Week, fly over to Paris, London, Germany, that type of thing.
On first class all the way, of course, and caviar and champagne. So yes, absolutely. So basically, I have a consultation with the client, which is a free consultation, and we really talk about specifically their goals, and also, most importantly, what makes you different. And this is really, really important, whether you're model, designer, retailer, whatever. What makes you different than everybody else out there? Because remember, the plus size industry is really exploding, which is wonderful. But the flip side of that is that there's more competition. So I always ask my clients, what do you bring to the table that nobody else does?
That's good.
Why am I, it's so important to know that. Why am I hiring you versus the thousands of other models waiting to be, to be interviewed? It's so important to know that. What are you doing differently? So that's number one. And then what I can do is I can help build your social media presence with the right followers. Again, not just the number of followers, the right followers. And by the right followers, I mean brands, I mean photographers, designers, journalists, industry people. Because you could have 500,000 followers, and 95% could be just teenage girls who love your pretty pictures. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not going to help your business.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I help build your social media with the right followers. I help to get you more press, reach out to the press for you when you have something newsworthy to announce, not just, hey, I'm a plus model. That's not newsworthy to a journalist. I have to think as a journalist, what
Right.
is newsworthy to my readers?
Mhm.
So whenever you have something newsworthy, like you're having a fundraiser, you're the face of a new campaign, you won a big contest, whatever, something like that, I reach out to my press to try to get you features, interviews, and of course I do to lead to more paying jobs. Of course, I connect you. I'm not an agent, I do want to clarify in that, but because I am connected with so many brands, it's only natural that if I hear something from a brand that they're looking for a certain model that you're going to fit, absolutely, I'm going to tell you about it. I'm also going to make sure you're aware of events. I mean, obviously, COVID's thrown that into a loop, but eventually we will get back to more in-person events. It's so important, networking, and network some more, and then network a little more. Online networking is great and it's convenient, but nothing takes the place of in-person. Networking face to face, give
Yeah.
someone a hug, really important to do that. So I would make sure you're up to date on events in your area. That would be really helpful for you. Connections, like I said, I'm your pimp. I got you connected, with their customers and everything. So I'm going to connect you to people that will help your career. I can help to build your portfolio because I know what kind of pictures that brands want to see in a portfolio. I can connect you to photographers for that portfolio or for photo shoots. For designers, if say you want to do a photo shoot for swimwear, right? Okay, I can connect you to designers, hairstylists, makeup artists, photographers, you name it, everybody.
Mhm.
So I'm connection. I'm your connection to whoever you need is the bottom line.
Oh,
Cool.
Yeah.
That was a lot. That's a lot of connections.
It is a lot of connection. I have, oh my gosh. I mean, I told
So
you my
important, though.
Google Doc of designers is 300 pages. The Google Doc of journalists is 400 pages. I have quite a few, and I'm not trying to brag. That's just what I do. It's really important, and again, in theory, you could reach out to all these people yourself, but they don't know you. They haven't trusted you. And, that has a lot to do with it as well. A lot of people say, okay, well, why am I giving you X amount of money per month or whatever? I don't know you. Well, this is true. You're taking a chance on me. I'm also taking a chance on you. A
Mhm.
big chance. I have spent so much time nurturing and developing these relationships with these journalists, with these designers, with these whoever. I'm vouching for you. Say you're my client, you're a model. I'm vouching that you're going to do the job that you're hired to do, that you're going to be professional about it, be on time, be reliable. If you don't come through, they're not going to want to work with me again. Right?
That's so important.
It's so
That
important to
is so
understand that.
key.
Yes, you are taking a chance on me, obviously. I mean, I know I'm going to come through for you, but you don't know that, right? If you haven't heard me before, that's fine. You're taking a chance on me, but remember, I am also taking a chance on you. So it is, mutually risky, I guess. But you know what? Once you get to know someone, you work with someone, you kind of test them out and everything. And we have contracts. I have contracts with everybody I work with. And contracts are for both of our protections. I'm putting in writing, here's what I'm going to do, X, Y, and Z. This is what you are responsible for. Everybody is super clear. Another thing that I do for my clients is status reports. That's really important. And surprisingly, I found that not many publicists do that. I've actually had someone say to me, wow, I had a publicist before. I paid her $10,000 a month. And I heard from her once a year.
Wow.
I couldn't get over that.
That's crazy.
Once a year? That's insane. Every single month, you will get a status report from me. I've done X, Y, and Z. Here are the results. Here's what we need to do next. Here's what worked. Here's what didn't work. Because remember, there's no exact formula that's going to work for everybody. It doesn't happen. It's going to be trial and error, especially in the beginning. So status reports are super important. What's working, what's not working. We're not wasting your money and my time on what's not working. We can have a weekly call if you want. I'm very accessible to you. I have all sorts of different budgets. I have everything from $75 to $10,000. Don't think, oh, I can't afford a publicist. Call me. We'll work something out. You'll see excuse me, again, with the status of work you're going to see, I'm doing what you hired me to do. Obviously, I can't guarantee, let me be clear, because, this is not a paid endorsement, getting back to that whole, thing about third-party credibility. I cannot guarantee to get you on X, Y, and Z magazine covers, but I can guarantee that I will try my hardest to do that. And again, because I have those relationships, you're more likely to get it through me than on your own.
Awesome. Yeah.
So it's really all about relationships, public relations, right? That's public relations. So it's about the relationships, and I'm essentially saving you as my client 10 years by having kind of presenting these relationships that are fully formed versus you reaching out and starting from scratch.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, we got some
so
comments. Okay, we will. We got some comments here, and I don't know where to start. There we go. We'll start here. She says, also, hello, fabulous hosts. What's going on, sweetheart? Yes, indeed. And Willie, Miss Willie says, hi, Sky. How are you doing? They're talking back and forth to each other. And Kendra Moore says, yay. There you go. And wait a minute. Hold on. Hey, maybe go here first. Sky says, fantastic, Miss Willie. And Miss Willie says, awesome. All right. So we had an awesome conversation between Miss Willie and Sky Darling. And Sky says, congrats, CC. Yeah, and I'm at to contact CC. She was the winner of the Grab That Cash. She won that $50 this week. And yay, thank you. Since I won last week's prize, I may want to give my prize to someone on the chat team. Oh, that's nice. But, keep it, Sky. You deserve it. You know, thank you. Appreciate that. But you keep it, keep that. And Karen says, Jamila, I love the top you have on. Yeah, I do too, Jamila. I meant to tell you that earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the top. Go ahead now. And Karen says, very true, Emma. I love how you explain that both sides are taking a chance and reputation risk. That is very true. And she also says, Emma, you are just a publicist for models. She says, are you just a publicist for models? I'm sorry.
No, absolutely not. So whether you're a model, so anyone in the plus size fashion industry, so a model, designer, retailer, I've had photographers, I've had event planners that do plus size events. I've had bloggers.
What about authors?
Authors are generally
question.
Because I can help you, but the bulk of my contacts are in the fashion industry. So okay. I wouldn't probably be the best one. I can connect you to somebody that would be better though, if you're an author. Yes.
There you go.
If you want to get into the fashion part, like kind of transition from being an author into fashion, that I can help you with. But if you want to just get your book reviewed and everything like that, I'm probably not the best person, but I can connect you to someone who is.
Cool. All right. And Scott Darling says, I will. I guess she's going to keep her prizes. Appreciate it. And Kendra says, love Emma repping biz women to the fullest. Yes, indeed. So, hey, they love you out there, Emma. So that was great. Great conversation. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot because it was foreign to me what y'all were talking at first. And then I started, picking up on it a little bit. And she says, thank you for that advice. So
I have one last question, and then I know we can wrap up and you can tell us how to reach you, but I know you moved from Boston to New York in the midst of the pandemic. How did the pandemic affect
right before the pandemic?
How did that affect your business?
Well, it did, like everybody's business. I did, I would say in the beginning, about 70% of my clients had to put their contracts on hold because they lost their jobs. I can't blame them for that. Obviously I'm not going to hold them to that. If they don't have the money coming in, I can't, I'm not that person. I guess in theory, I really could make a stink about it, but it's just not worth it. Because, okay, I'd get the money, but then I'd destroy that relationship. It's just not worth it. But thankfully, many of them have come back now. I've started to pick up. I've gotten 3 new clients starting in the next couple of months as well. So things are picking back up a little bit. So it's just kind of knuckling down. I know they're going to come back when they can. Several of them already have. So just dealing with that. But you know what? It has freed me up to take more courses. That's one thing that I've done. I found this really great website called Coursera.org. So COURSERA.org. I took, for example, last week a viral marketing course that was very, very helpful. So I really tried to use this time wisely to really like, okay, I didn't have time to do these before, and now I do. You know, and it's so important, pandemic or no pandemic, to keep your education going, especially if you're a small business owner, because technology, especially, is always changing. I mean, always changing. It's so important to keep up on it as much as possible, keep up on new trends, keep up on new discoveries. So that's something that I've really been doing, and I'm glad that I have, that have really benefited my clients. Yeah. So I'm trying to turn negative into a positive. Yeah.
There you go.
How can we contact you if people want to reach out to you for more questions or some advice, or maybe potentially a client?
So yes, absolutely. So I'm going to put in the comment. Can I add something to the comments?
Yeah, and I'll transfer it over.
Can I? Is that okay? All right, hold on. I'm going to put the website and also my email address. Absolutely. Like I said, please reach out to me for your free consultation. We'll get to know each other better. Even if you are not ready right now to, jump the gun and sign with, just really get to know you better. Because that way, when you are ready, we can have a plan of action. Okay. So how do I add to the comments here? Sorry, this is the first time I've used StreamYard. I'm in comments, but I don't see a place where I can add comments.
Tell you what we'll do is we'll add it in for you.
If you could do that, yes, please. So Jamila, I'm sending you via Facebook my website link, and you already have my email link from earlier. So if you can add those two,
we'll put that on Feel Good Talk in case somebody wants to reach out to you.
Yeah.
Any words of advice for those aspiring models, actors, or designers?
Know your point of difference. Really, what sets you apart? One of my professors.
Makes you so effing special.
Yeah. Yes,
I remember hearing that.
Oh my God, you remember? I'm so pleased. Okay, for those of you who think she's just completely insane, I'll tell you the story. When I was in college, one of my professors, never forget, changed my life, told us the story of when he was job hunting in his 20s for whatever job it was. And he went into an interview prepared to answer typical interview questions like we all are. What are your strengths, weaknesses, that sort of thing. Instead, this guy sits him down and he goes, so, what makes you so effing special? And my professor was like, I didn't prepare for that. So the guy says, okay, thank you very much. You can leave now. Goodbye. End of interview. It was just really, but that one story was just incredible to me. Because at the end of the day, that is what people want to know. However they phrase it. Don't phrase it that way. And he didn't censor, by the way. I was being nice. But that is what people want to know. Why am I hiring you? Why am I buying your products? Why am I buying your service? Whatever. And you have to do the research. Remember, before I said Medeiros Fashion PR is the first PR firm in the U.S. to specialize in the plus-size fashion industry, I made damn sure that was true. I made damn sure that was true. I did a lot of research before I that's a strong statement. So I just want to make sure that was actually true. So whatever your point of difference is, even if you don't know it right now, just really do almost like some soul searching. Like, what am I bringing to the table? What am I bringing to the table? What are my skills? What are my passions? Anything like that, and then really capitalize on your point of difference.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Emma.
You're welcome. And actually,
so much information. We got to have you back.
Yes, and one more piece of advice, if I may, especially for models, know your worth.
There you go.
Know your worth. Way many models work for free. Way too many models. It's just not okay. I mean, even if you work at McDonald's, you get paid. I don't understand why the industry says it's okay to not pay models. So know your worth, do your research, because different areas are going to have different average pay based on your experience and everything. It's not straightforward, but it is important to know your worth and back that up. Be professional, be on time, be prepared. Just really, be professional and know your worth, and people will take you seriously.
Exactly. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
for that advice.
Great word. Thank you so much, Emma.
All right.
We
Thank
appreciate you, your wisdom, and finally we got to interview you and know
You're
your
welcome,
worth.
Sky.
But I appreciate you. Before we go, Chuck, I received this book in the mail, and we're going to interview the author on February 28th.
Okay.
So thank you, Karen. She asked that question because she has a book.
Karen Dickerson
I don't know if
Brown.
you guys can
Yep.
see it.
Thank
So yeah,
Brown
I can't wait to read it.
Yeah.
It's going to be another good book that she autographed it for me. So thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you. And so we just appreciate everybody. Don't forget to grab that cash.
That's right. We'll have the winner next week. Like I said, you have to be present to win. So if you're not
Yeah,
present, we're going to
you
the
gotta
next.
be in it to win it.
You got to be in it to win. Exactly. So
Yeah.
first few times it was, hey, whatever, but now, it's a little bit, stricter rules. So make it more interesting. You know what I mean? So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much, really, for having me. And again, people, if you're curious about what I do, if you want to learn more about it, reach out. Totally free consultation.
Awesome.
Yeah. And thank you guys for being on Jamila J on Feel Good Talk, Mind, Body, Soul, and Business.
Hey,
That's right.
awesome show. I appreciate being on. I learned a lot today about what you do, Emma. So again, thank you, and I guess we'll see you next week.
And stay safe, everyone.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Be safe out there.